Welcome to Royal Daily Report, your trusted source for royal family news and investigations. Tonight, we are bringing you a story that has the entire royal world talking. And it all started with 24 photographs posted on Instagram. Because sometimes the most revealing thing a person can do is show you exactly what they chose to leave out. Stay with us, because this one goes very deep. Subscribe to Royal Daily Report right now and hit that notification bell so you never miss a story like this. Imagine for a moment that everything you have built is starting to fall apart. Your big public speeches are being met with half-empty seats. The famous friends you once called your inner circle are suddenly very busy whenever you call. And the only way to stay relevant in a fast-moving world is to keep looking backward at a past that is getting further away every single day. Most people in that situation would stop, reflect, reassess. But for Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, the strategy in May 2026 looks very different. On the 8th anniversary of the day that changed her life forever, she did not simply post a quiet celebration. She posted a curation. 24 photographs dropped onto her Instagram feed like a carefully planned tactical move. But the reaction she received was not what she expected. Instead of warm anniversary wishes, the world started counting. They counted the solo shots. They counted the missing faces. And they noticed one particular photograph that appeared to show a very stressed Harry in the middle of what looked like a tense argument with a nanny, on the very day they were supposed to be beginning their happily ever after. It was a move that made her look less like a happy bride celebrating a milestone and more like a director who had completely lost control of her own production. But that was not even the most shocking part. Do not forget to subscribe to Royal Daily Report for more exclusive royal updates. To truly understand why this anniversary post felt so uncomfortable to experienced royal watchers, you have to look carefully at what was actually in those 24 photographs. Because the inventory tells a story all by itself. Out of 24 images, nearly every single one was a solo shot of Meghan. There she was in her Givenchy wedding gown, standing alone in a hallway, looking down at the floor like a high-fashion magazine editorial. There she was in her reception dress, dancing by herself with her arms in the air. Just Meghan, alone, again and again and again. It was a strange and almost uncomfortable display of a wedding that, based on these photographs, appeared to have only one participant. Where were the bridesmaids? Where were the page boys? Where was the shared laughter and the genuine joy of people celebrating together? In the version of her wedding day that Meghan wants the world to remember in 2026, she is the sun, and everyone else, including her own husband, is simply orbiting around her. But as people scrolled through the photographs, a much darker pattern began to emerge. Because it was not just about who was in the photos. It was about who had been deliberately and completely removed from them. Hit that like button and subscribe to Royal Daily Report right now. This investigation is only getting started. The most painful absence in the entire carousel was also the most revealing. Doria Ragland, Meghan's own mother, was the only member of Meghan's family who attended that wedding. She was the one who flew in from Los Angeles. She was the one who sat completely alone in that front pew and wept as she watched her daughter marry a prince. She was the one who walked alongside her daughter toward the chapel doors. For years, the Sussex public narrative has been built very heavily on the idea that Doria is the emotional heart of their world. She was prominently featured in the Netflix documentary. She was presented as the loyal, loving, ever-present mother who was always there. And yet in 24 photographs marking 8 years of marriage, Doria Ragland is completely invisible. Not a single shot of the woman who was there that day. Not one candid moment of a mother and daughter sharing the most important day of that daughter's life. This was not a privacy decision. This was a brand decision. And the timing matters. Because rumors have been quietly circulating for months in May 2026 that the relationship between Meghan and her mother has become significantly strained. That Doria is tired of being used as a supporting character in media projects. Tired of being brought out when the narrative needs a sympathetic face and then put away again when she is no longer useful. If the woman who was once your only connection to your own family history is now being edited out of your public story, it suggests that the relationship has changed in ways that no Instagram post can hide. Make sure you are subscribed to Royal Daily Report and have liked this video. We are bringing you the complete picture. But if the removal of her own mother was bold, it was nothing compared to how she handled the British royal family in this carousel. Because let us be completely honest about what that wedding actually was and who actually made it possible. That wedding was a public event paid for largely by the British taxpayer, to the tune of nearly $45 million. It was hosted by Queen Elizabeth. It was made possible by a personal act of genuine kindness from King Charles. When Meghan's own father pulled out of the wedding at the very last minute, it was Charles who stepped in and walked her down the second half of the aisle. Royal historians described it at the time as an unprecedented act of welcome and generosity towards someone joining the family. But in this anniversary carousel in May 2026, King Charles is a ghost. Queen Elizabeth, who has since passed, is absent. Prince William and Catherine, who were such a significant part of the global interest and attention surrounding that day, have been completely edited out of the photographic record as Meghan chooses to present it. It is as though Meghan wants the world to believe she simply appeared at St. George's Chapel entirely by herself, through some personal right. With no help or support from the institution, she now spends so much of her time publicly criticizing. Do not miss a single update. Subscribe to Royal Daily Report and turn on your notifications right now. And while Meghan is busy looking backward at a wedding from 2018, the rest of the royal family in May 2026 is very clearly and very confidently looking forward. King Charles and Queen Camilla are currently in the middle of a highly successful tour of Australia. The images coming out of that tour show genuine crowds, real warmth, and a sense of royal duty and purpose that the Sussexes have been completely unable to replicate from their home in California. While Charles and Camilla are actively building the monarchy's future, Meghan is selling the past. She is using old black and white photographs to try to prop up a lifestyle brand, American Riviera Orchard, that is genuinely struggling to find its commercial footing and its identity in a crowded and competitive market. When your present life is not generating enough compelling content, you go back to the archive. You reach for the moments you once described as private and sacred. You use them to create the illusion of a brand that still has somewhere to go. The irony is sharp and impossible to ignore. This is the woman who told Oprah she hated the spectacle of royal life. And yet 8 years later, she is the only person still trying to sell it. Now let us talk about the A-list exodus. Because this is one of the most significant stories developing around the Sussex brand in May 2026. And those 24 wedding photographs make it impossible to ignore. Look at the guest list from that 2018 wedding, and it reads like a red carpet event. George and Amal Clooney, David and Victoria Beckham, Serena Williams, Oprah Winfrey. Some of the most famous and most influential people in the entire world were in that chapel. But look at the social picture today, and you see something very different. That entire galaxy of famous friendships has cooled dramatically. The Beckhams reportedly cut ties after being accused of leaking stories to the press, an accusation that David Beckham, a man who values loyalty above almost everything else, found deeply insulting. The Clooneys, whom Meghan described as close friends, were recently photographed at a charity event for King Charles, choosing the institution over the brand without any apparent hesitation. Even Oprah Winfrey has been remarkably and noticeably quiet, with multiple insiders suggesting she feels that the famous sit-down interview she hosted did not give her the full and honest picture she believed she was getting. In the 24 anniversary photographs, the only recognizable celebrity face was Elton John. And the latest reporting makes very clear that Elton is not particularly Meghan's friend. He is Harry's. He has maintained contact with Harry because of his deep and long-standing loyalty to Princess Diana, not because he has any particular investment in Meghan's latest product launches. This brings us to something that brand experts and royal watchers are discussing very seriously in May 2026. The Sussex brand was built on offering something specific and genuinely rare. In 2018, Meghan offered the world a direct link to the British monarchy. That was the product. That was the value. That was why the A-list showed up and why the big deals followed. But in 2026, the product has changed completely. What she is offering now is grievance, criticism, conflict with the institution. And in the world of the ultra-wealthy and the genuinely influential, grievance is not a valuable asset. It is a toxic one. The A-list has not simply moved on. They have made a calculated and deliberate decision to protect their own reputations and their own brands by keeping a careful distance. They can see the direction of travel. They can see King Charles's popularity growing in Australia. And they understand that being publicly associated with a sustained campaign against the King of England is not good for anyone's business. When your 8th anniversary post is full of mirror selfies and solo dancing shots, it is not because you are being private and careful. It is because the people who were once in those photographs no longer want to be associated with the story you are telling. Now let us talk about the contradiction at the very heart of this story, because this one is genuinely difficult to explain away. Just 7 months ago, in October 2025, Prince Harry sat down for a podcast interview and spoke with genuine passion and real concern about the dangers of social media. He called certain platforms evil and wicked. He talked about the serious and lasting damage that digital content does to young minds. He told the host that he and Meghan were extremely cautious and hesitant about allowing their children anywhere near digital apps and social media platforms. He sounded like a man who truly and deeply believed in what he was saying. And then this week, his wife posted audio of their children singing a happy anniversary message to 4.5 million strangers on the internet. She used the very digital platforms he condemned to market a lifestyle brand, with their children's voices as the content. These two versions of their marriage and their parenting, the one where they are fiercely private parents protecting their children from digital harm, and the one where they are social media influencers using their children's voices for brand engagement, cannot both be true at the same time. It is a visible and very public crack in their partnership, and it raises genuine questions about whether they are even on the same page when it comes to their own children. But the contradictions do not stop there. The carousel also included a photograph of a bronze penguin, reportedly a gift from Harry to mark their 8th anniversary, since bronze is the traditional material associated with 8 years of marriage. It was a sweet and genuinely thoughtful gesture. But why was it in a public Instagram post for 4.5 million followers? Because in the world of Project Sussex, everything, including private anniversary gifts, is a potential product. You are not simply celebrating a marriage. You are selling the idea of a marriage. You are setting the stage for the next release from American Riviera Orchard. When your wedding anniversary, your children's voices, and your private gifts all become content, you are no longer operating as a duchess. You are operating as a merchant. And then there is what royal watchers are calling Nanny Gate. The photograph in the carousel that shows a visibly stressed Harry appearing to be in a tense exchange in the background on his own wedding day. Including that image in a carefully curated anniversary post was a significant mistake. It was likely intended to come across as candid and relatable. Instead, it came across as chaotic and revealing. It reminded everyone watching that the fairy tale was always a production, and that behind the beautiful gown and the perfectly managed public moments, there was a great deal happening that was never part of the official story. If this is genuinely the best version of that day she could find after 8 years of looking, it raises real questions about what the rest of the archive looks like. Now let us talk about something that in May 2026 is being described as a very deliberate and very public message from the royal family itself. In just a matter of days, Peter Phillips, Princess and son and King Charles's nephew, is getting married. This is a significant family occasion, the kind of gathering where the inner circle of the monarchy comes together to show unity, strength, and continuity. King Charles will be there. Queen Camilla will be there. William and Catherine are on the guest list. Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie are attending and are reportedly being actively promoted within the working royal structure, taking on more engagements and standing visibly by the king's side. The Sussexes received no invitation. None was sent to Montecito, and the palace has been quietly briefing the press that this gathering is specifically designed to show the world that the royal family is moving forward, that it is full, that it is functioning, and that it is doing so entirely without the drama and the conflict of the Sussex brand. This is not simply a family snub. This is a strategic and very deliberate statement. In 2018, Harry and Meghan were the center of the royal story. In 2026, they are not in the frame at all. The palace is making its position absolutely clear. The monarchy does not need the Sussexes to thrive. And the evidence from Australia and from events like this wedding makes that case very powerfully. While the royal family gathers to celebrate a new beginning, Meghan will be in California with her 24 photographs and her bronze penguin, posting content to a digital audience that is steadily and visibly losing interest. Here is the truth that the anniversary carousel revealed most clearly of all. A wedding photograph album that does not include the mother who raised you, the family that welcomed you, or a single genuine moment of shared joy is not a celebration of love and partnership. It is something else entirely. It is a document of isolation dressed up as confidence. It is a brand that has run out of authentic content, pretending that going back to the archive is a choice rather than a necessity. In the fast-moving world of social media and digital content in 2026, solo content only holds attention for so long. People eventually want to see connection. They want to see real relationships. They want to see growth and community and genuine human warmth. But when your famous friends have quietly stepped away, when your family is absent from your own anniversary post, and when your husband is publicly contradicting your digital strategy, all you have left is the archive. And archives have a limited shelf life. The 24-photo carousel was almost certainly intended to project strength and independence. It was meant to say, "Look at how significant this day was. Look at how confident I am. Look at how little I need anyone else." But it communicated something very different to most of the people watching. It communicated isolation. It communicated a brand that is burning through its remaining assets because the new ones are not materializing fast enough. It communicated a woman who has edited so many people out of her own story that she is now the only one left in the frame. Being alone and being independent are two very different things. And as the 2026 royal season moves into high gear, with the monarchy stronger in public opinion than it has been in years, with William and Catherine's popularity growing, with Charles and Camilla building genuine goodwill on the international stage, the Sussexes are finding out just how cold it can be on the outside of the institution they chose to leave. The question that hangs over everything in May 2026 is this: what happens when the archive runs completely dry? When there are no more unseen wedding photographs to post? When the children's voices have been used as content one too many times? When the candle business and the jam brand and the lifestyle content have all failed to deliver the commercial results that were promised? What is the product then? What is the story? We are watching something unfold in real time on Royal Daily Report. The slow and very public unwinding of a global brand that was built on a royal connection it no longer possesses, supported by famous friendships that have quietly evaporated, and sustained by a grievance narrative that a growing number of people are simply no longer buying. The carousel is finished. The photographs are posted. And the silence from the people who were once in those photographs is the loudest response of all. That is the full report for today from Royal Daily Report. What do you think about Meghan's anniversary post? Was leaving Doria out a privacy decision or something more significant? Does the contradiction between Harry's words about social media and Meghan's use of their children's voices concern you? And what does the Sussex future look like without a single A-list friend left to stand beside them publicly? Tell us everything in the comments below. Subscribe to Royal Daily Report right now for daily royal news and exclusive investigations. Like this video, share it with someone who wants the real story behind the royal headlines. Turn on your notifications and do not miss a single update. We will be back very soon with more. Until next time, this is Royal Daily Report, keeping you fully informed on everything royal.